Speaker Mike Johnson found himself at odds with members of his own party, forcing him to scrap a planned vote on a stopgap funding bill. The measure, intended to keep the government running until March 28, also included the controversial SAVE Act, which calls for proof of citizenship to register to vote. With at least 8 House Republicans and all House Democrats opposing the plan, Johnson had no choice but to pull the vote and attempt to build consensus over the weekend. The internal GOP divisions pose a significant challenge for Johnson, highlighting the speaker's struggle to unite his party. Johnson's leadership is being tested as he tries to balance demands from various Republican factions and the overarching influence of former President Donald Trump. Trump has been particularly vocal, demanding assurances on election security and criticizing Democrats with unsubstantiated claims about voter fraud. Johnson's proposal aimed to appease conservatives who fear voter fraud, even though it's already illegal for non-citizens to vote in federal elections. Despite Johnson's efforts to push through the SAVE Act, which had passed the House earlier this summer, Senate Democrats show no interest in advancing the bill. Consequently, Johnson faces pressure to adopt a clean funding measure, free from divisive policy add-ons, to avoid a government shutdown on October 1st. Not all Republicans are on board with Johnson's plan. For instance, Congressman Thomas Massie referred to the continuing resolution CR as an insult to Americans' intelligence, arguing it doesn't cut government spending sufficiently. Moreover, some defense hawks, including Rep. Ken Calvert, oppose the idea of flat funding the military, which they argue would be detrimental to national security. Meanwhile, the Biden administration is pushing for a short-term funding patch through December, advocating for additional disaster relief, veterans' health care funding, food assistance, and support for the Social Security Administration. House Speaker Tom Cole and Democratic Appropriator Rosa DeLauro have emphasized the need for a bipartisan solution to prevent a shutdown and secure necessary funding. The stakes are high, as a government shutdown would affect numerous federal agencies and services. The Department of Veterans Affairs has warned that Johnson's 6-month CR would severely impact its ability to deliver benefits and health care to veterans, exacerbating issues like staff shortages, wait times, and outreach efforts. Johnson, while working to build a consensus, might have to bow to pressures both within his party and from the national discourse, led by Trump's rants on election security. Failure to do so risks not just his leadership, but also the functionality of key government services just weeks before the national election.